Hey everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I just play games and whatever I want. My name is Nisse and normal I do not make reviews and I don't think this classifies as a review. But people have been talking for the last year. It's the last year where I really have felt the hype about this new Zelda game. And the thing is, I have never played Zelda before. It's not because I don't like it or anything. Um, I played a lot as a kid and then I got back into gaming a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's never been like I haven't been following the Zelda world. I'm not sure how old the franchise is, but when I was a kid and gaming a lot, it was very much like Pokemon, and other people were playing Mario and such. But I don't remember Zelda at all from back then. As an adult, I have seen a few things from them, but I actually thought that Zelda were a playable character for the longest time. I also thought that it was more like small, like looking small, like a indie game or such, based on the fact that it's only from what I have seen, and what I have seen have probably been older games. So when we came up to it a few months ago, I thought about downloading Breath of the Wild, trying playing that, because $70 for a game is a hell of a lot for a game you have no idea if you will like. Also, can you actually play it without playing the prequel? I had no intentions of playing all the Zelda games, but I wasn't sure if I even could play Tears of the Kingdom if I haven't played Breath of the Wild. Then I saw Breath of the Wild were still $60. So $60 for the older game and then 70 for the newer were not something that I was going to do right away. So in the promotional material, they stated you can actually play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom if you haven't played Breath of the Wild. So I thought, can we? So I tried. The game have been out for almost a week at this point, and I'm into it. To be honest, I haven't really been playing too much like out in the world. It took me like 4 days to get through the tutorial because I kept dying. Partially because I'm bad at it, clearly. I'm real bad at it. And partially because there's some things where I'm not sure if I skipped some text that made me unable to do things, or if it's because it's something people would have known from a previous game. I will not spoil anything by saying that first time you come to snow, you're gonna die if you do not know that you need to fix a ruby to your shield or your weapon, because a ruby apparently protects you from the cold. And it's really hard. And then later I came to a desert area out of the tutorial, and then I had the issue where I couldn't do anything with the coal, or I died of the heat. So instead, I thought, okay, I'm really going in this time because the ruby I only figured out because I asked YouTube. I do that when I have to, but I don't want to have to. So yeah, I think it's the only two things I ever. No, one more, but we're gonna go back to it. Anyway, the dessert. Sorry, the dessert. So I thought, okay, the ruby. It stated on the ruby that it holds the power of fire or something like that. So I thought, do I have something holding the power of ice or icy or something? Then we have this thingy that states it's cold to the touch and spread a mist of ice when it struck. So I tried holding it, just holding it in the game, and it did nothing. So I tried to strike it, and I accidentally killed myself because it literally froze me. Frustrating as shit. But again, something I really tried to work around. Then I figured out, well, deserts are cold in the night. So I just moved through the desert at night until I actually came upon something that would help me. The same with lightning, that suddenly it started raining and thunder and lightning. And I just walked around. I thought, okay, I like this. It's have this kind of gloomy feel to it. I love it. Walking around, and suddenly I can see this electric strike touching Link, but it doesn't hurt him. So I think, okay, maybe I don't know if he have some kind of power to withstand that. So we keep going, keep going, keep going, and then lightning struck, and I'm dead. Trying to go figure out, okay, where were I? I was on a bridge, so maybe I should only be on the ground when it's lightning. So I tried that, died again. I thought, okay, I'm gonna put myself under a tree. Didn't work. Died again. I'm gonna climb a tree, sit up in the tree, because then lightning would. I don't know. I tried sitting in a tree. It didn't work. Where I just found out later, also by help from YouTube, that I apparently had to just use wooden weapon and shields and such instead, and it wouldn't harm me or touch me. So it's just these small things where I feel like if you have played a previous game, you would probably already know. But because of these things, I had no idea what to do with it. And I assume I will get to more of these things later on. Some things you get too much tutorial on, too much explanation. But it's just these small things that it seems like the game assumed that I know. That I just don't know. But the important thing is still have, I'm gonna have, because I'm gonna keep playing it, a lot of fun playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and even to a point where I know I have heard people compare the two games, but I even think that maybe it will be worth it, the $60 later on when I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom, going back and then playing Breath of the Wild, because it's a really, really fun game. And honestly, I have as much fun as I had playing Hogwarts Legacies, but in a little bit of a different way, because in Hogwarts Legacy, I was very much like, well, if I'm not on a path to something specific, I'm just gonna investigate, because there's all this lore that I'm really hype about that I want to figure out. But in Zelda Breath of the Wild, I do not care the same way. I do not care if I come to a castle and that castle changed in some way, because I haven't seen it before. So I don't have this hype about it. And that's also something I want to mention, that going to Metacritic, currently sitting at 96. I was checking it just before this video to make sure. That's not right for me. It's not right for me because I do not have this hype. I want to go back to this world. I want to learn this. I want to find all these things. I want this right now. No, it's a really fun game. It's have a lot of small things. The fighting is very much like weird. And sometimes it's also, for instance, arrows. It shoots really, really slow. So sometimes I click 3 or 4 times in between shooting an arrow. So it have these small things that frustrates me. And again, maybe if you here for the hype, you here because you love Tears of or Zelda franchise, and you here for that, this won't be an issue. But there's small things for a new player that never been in this franchise before, where you look more objective at it, you look more like big picture, and you see these small things that may frustrate you more. So I don't think 96 is right for a player like me. And I just think is a really important thing to take with it. Is it a $70 a game? Nope. But it is a really good game, and $70 for you is maybe not the same as $70 for me. So I really, really recommend playing this game if you have the money and you want to use the money, because it's really fun. But at the same time, keep in mind that you can get as a fun as experience for cheaper games. You really can do that. Now I just compare it to Hogwarts Legacies is because it's something I assume a lot of people have played recently. But there is also a lot of other games out there you can play. It also affects me a little bit that I always played docked on my big TV, a 50-something inch OLED TV. The graphics just isn't there, and that's just a fact. It's the same TV I play my PlayStation on, so therefore it's just not as pretty as other games could be. But it's a Switch game, it's a fun game, and you can have so much fun in here, and that's really the most important part is it fun for someone who don't have the hype? And it really are. So I highly recommend if you want to try this out. I'm not sure if you can because you haven't played the previous one. You really can. And make up your own mind. Don't expect a 96 game. Don't expect that at all. Just go into it with an open mind. Try things out. You're allowed to die. You cannot. There's no settings. There should be settings. No level settings, but you can die as many times you want. And I probably died 100 times. And I even had some fun with my brother where we tried to find out the ice things in the ice area. And we used like an hour just sitting here spitballing backwards and forwards trying to figure it out. And we just couldn't. And the fact that neither of us could, but it was such a simple thing, is also kind of funny. So it's really the mindset you go into it with that determines how much fun you're gonna have with this game. And again, hey, we gotta end this video here, and I really hope this helped you out a little bit. I normally don't make these videos. This is my live channel, but I just really had something I wanted to say, but I didn't want to go live with it. Anyway, guys, as always, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video or live. Sorry, just forgot the rest of my intro again. So I'm just gonna say bye.